For the fourth day in a row, Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs have landed a massive commitment in the 2026 class. Of course, that's not a surprise to anyone. I told y'all the commits were coming, and they are right in the middle still of a giant week on the recruiting trail. Probably a giant 2 weeks, but this time it is a big one. Four-star running back Jay Lamar out of Colquitt County, one of the best running back prospects in the country, has committed to Georgia over Miami and Clemson. This is a guy that has been a longtime Georgia target since they offered in early October of last year. He had a breakout junior season for the Packers down in Moultrie, and we're going to dig into it, all right? And I'm going to try to explain why this is such a big deal. Of course, they needed an elite running back or two in this class, and they definitely have one of them now in Jay Lamar. We'll see where they go with that second running back, but Jay Lamar is an absolute dog. 6 foot, 205 pounds. This is a guy that does a little bit of everything: size, speed, power, balance, explosiveness. This is a really, really big deal. Burst onto the scene, like I said, early last fall. I believe it was week 3 or 4 against Lee County, a really talented Lee County team. He rushed for 126 yards and a touchdown. 2 weeks later against Lowndes, just ran wild on the Vikings, 182 yards, 2 touchdowns, and of course a few days later the Dogs extended their offer. Everyone else jumped on board after that, and after taking several visits to Athens over the last several months, including an official visit this past weekend, Jay Lamar said, you know what? I'm not going to Miami. I'm not going to Clemson. Why should I? I'm going to stay in the state and play for the Georgia Bulldogs. So massive, massive pickup for Josh Crawford, who definitely needs an elite running back. He's got one now. I still think they need another really good one. But Jay Lamar, again, a guy who can really do it all. I think he is the best running back in the state of Georgia. And I said that back in the spring, not because I covered Georgia and was dropping hints to y'all that, hey, Jay Lamar's the guy to know. He is a big Georgia target. I think he's going to end up at Georgia. You know, that's not why I thought he was the number one running back in the state. I think that because I think he has the most diverse skill set. Again, this is a guy that is a tackle breaking machine, but claims a 4.36 in the 40 at over 200 pounds. That's a terrific time. And when you turn on the tape, it's easy to see why he's one of the best running backs in the country. Now, if you look up his numbers, they're not super jaw-dropping, but he shared the carries. They had a senior, Deshaun Brown, for Colquitt County, who led the team in carries and yards. But again, Jay Lamar was kind of an unknown prospect going into the season. He was their number 2 running back. Still had a really, really good season, obviously. 112 carries for 885 yards. That's 7.9 yards per carry against really solid South Georgia defenses week after week. 11 touchdowns. He also made a lot of plays out of the backfield, including his best play of the season. I'm going to talk about that in just a second against Lowndes, but he caught only 8 passes, but he took them for 172 yards and 2 more scores. He is the number 9 running back prospect in the country and the number 122 overall. If there's 100 players in the country better than Jay Lamar, I haven't seen them. I think this guy is a top 100 kid, and it wouldn't surprise me if his ranking at the running back position went up again too, because again, he is muscular, he can outrun defenders, but I think his balance and the way he moves and the way he plays, that's what most impresses me when I turn on the film. And there is a play against Lowndes that I thought could be the best run that anyone had in the state of Georgia last year. It was on a swing pass. They threw it to him. He made kind of a spinning catch. As soon as he caught it, he looked upfield, broke a tackle, had to spin out of it basically, then broke 2 more tackles. He's nearing the sidelines, put his foot in the ground, and just sprinted down the sideline, outrunning 2 more Lowndes defenders on his way to a big, I think, 75-yard touchdown or something. But the play was incredible. He showed soft hands, balance, the ability to muscle through tackles, and then straight line speed, breakaway home run speed all the way to the end zone. So on that particular play that you can watch over on Dawg Post, you can watch that play, you can watch all of his junior highlights. Grab some popcorn when you do, but they're all over on dawgpost.com. That's where y'all should be. That's where the scoop is. And again, our readers, our members are not surprised by this news at all. They knew that he was a major Georgia target, and they knew through my reporting that Georgia was the team to beat here for a long time. And today they got him on board. Here is what his head coach, Sean Calhoun, had to say about his strengths and what makes him such an elite player. He said, quote, "His biggest strengths on the field are his physicality, his competitive drive, his love for his teammates, and his love for the game. As a prospect, his combination of size, speed, and physicality make him one of the nation's best. He can be a home run hitter, and he can muscle his way for those tough, short yardage situations." And he's exactly right. This is not a guy that you can hit and move backwards. He falls forward at the end of runs. He runs behind his pads. He's tough and he's physical. So on those 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 situations, right? 3rd and goal, 4th and goal, inside the 2. This is a guy that you hand the ball off to, and he gets north and south, powers through his way for those short yardage. But he can also be dangerous in the open field. He can make a guy miss if he doesn't feel like running through a guy. And as he shows on tape, he can outrun guys who have the angle on him, guys who are smaller, right? It doesn't matter. Guys that you would think are faster than him, they're not, right? So he can outrun guys, he can muscle through. And again, I love his balance more than anything. If you don't wrap him up with both arms at his feet and hold on for dear life, you're not getting this guy on the ground. If you try to tackle him high, he's going to take you and stiff arm you into the ground, right? The only way you can get him down on the ground if you want to tackle him up high is hold on for dear life and hope 2 more defenders come and help you take him to the ground before he throws your butt in the dirt. But if you try to knock him off balance, that's not going to work, right? If you try to just, dive at his feet, trip him up, it's not going to work. He is going to find a way to stay on his feet while continuing to look at open running lanes, all right? And again, his ability to just be sudden and so quick for a guy 200 pounds, really, really impressive. He can put his foot into the ground and get upfield, like a guy who weighs 180, right? So he sure doesn't play like he's 200 plus pounds, but he looks like it, man. He is a tough physical dude, again, with outstanding home run speed. So major commitment for the Dogs. And he's fresh, right? Again, he shared the carries last year in his really only true season. He should be the bell cow for them this fall. I expect him to have a monster senior season, but there's a reason Georgia offered him after that Lowndes game and pushed for him since offering in October. They got their guy. Now, they still need another, right? Savion Hyder is the number 1 running back prospect in the country. I don't think he's leaning Georgia's way. Derek Cooper, a versatile kid out of South Florida that Georgia has recruited for a long time. He's coming off the board in July. I don't think Georgia leads there either. But we'll see where things go. Xavier Crowell announces, I guess, in a couple days. I still think Alabama's the team to beat there. Maybe something happens at the last minute. That would be massive news. But they at least have one of the nation's best on board right now. And Jay Lamar, right? Jay Lamar, his real name is Tyjavian, 5-star name. And I think he could push for 5-star status. I think he's the best running back prospect in the state. Not because I thought he was leaning Georgia's way and cover the Dogs, but because I love what he brings to the table. Size, speed, power, balance, explosiveness. Just so tough to wrap up, so tough to tackle. And he's got fresh legs. He can catch out of the backfield. The guy really does do it all. Now, Georgia, again, still needs another, but Jay Lamar is a big deal and a guy who could kind of play early. Nate Frazier will be a junior next year. They still got some young guys, but they only signed 1 running back in the last cycle in Bo Walker, who's good. He is a good back. We'll see how much he plays this fall, but Tyjavian Lamar, a guy, again, who burst onto the scene as a junior last fall, got all the offers during the season. A lot of times, after a massive season, you get those offers in January and February. But no, these coaches, they saw his film, what he did against Lee County, what he did against Lowndes, and they said, we're not waiting until the winter. We're offering you right now. We want to get you on campus for a game day visit. We're going to visit you multiple times at school in January. We're going to get you back in town for a junior day in February, and in March, we're going to get you in town for an official visit and show you that you were a top priority. And that's what they did, and they got him. So big loss for Miami, no doubt about it. I know they beat Georgia for a couple prospects already in this class, but this time, Georgia beats Miami for a guy they wanted badly. Make no mistake, Miami desperately wanted Jay Lamar. And he turned him down, said, nope, I'm going to go play up in Athens, Georgia for Josh Crawford, Kirby Smart, and the Dogs. Again, big deal. Georgia gets high 4-star running back Jay Lamar, one of the best running back prospects in the country, and in my opinion, the best running back in the state of Georgia. Big deal. You can read more and watch his highlights over on Dawg Post for free. So make sure you're doing that. Really appreciate it. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you learned something. And I'll probably see you tomorrow talking about another commitment in Georgia's 2026 class. Probably going to do the same thing on Friday. All right. So thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. And make sure you're on Dawg Post to, for the latest. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you over there.